Hey there guys, welcome back to Texas Beer Reviews, and on this episode we will be looking at Lone Pint's Yellow Rose. So they just released Yellow Rose in 4 packs this week in 500 milliliter bottles. Previously they've always been in 750 milliliters, so pretty exciting to get them in a smaller 4-pack format. This is what the box looks like. So it's got their logo, it's got some cut out there, you can actually see the bottles, it's got the artwork. Pretty cool, pretty neat. But about the beer. So this is their most famous beer. I don't really talk about Beer Advocate too much on here anymore, but this is the highest rated IPA in Texas. So it's got some notoriety, I guess, in that sense. But a little bit about the beer. It's 6.8% alcohol by volume and it's 62 IBUs. Also lists the original gravity and final gravity. And it's got a big description about the brewery and about the beer itself. So about the beer, it's a single malt, single hop India Pale Ale using a caboodle of one malt and one hop. Whole cone is used for bittering, flavoring, and aroma in the kettle. It is also massively dry hopped. This brew is named after a Texas Heroine who is not to be trifled with. It has the tasting notes about it. It lists grapefruit, pineapple, blueberries. So it's very quaffable. And then the ingredients is Pilsner malt, Mosaic whole cone hops, and house yeast. And then these bottles, they didn't used to put the bottle date on the large bottles, so now they have it on here, and this was August 29th. So this is 5 days old, I guess, turning into 6 now since it's after midnight, but basically 5 days old. So really, really fresh, which is pretty cool. But it's pretty much everything about Yellow Rose. And I need a bottle opener, so I'm not going to pause the video because that's what made my video corrupt last time. So give me one quick second. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is up with these videos. I'm using the pause feature on here, and sometimes it just, I don't know, it ends up corrupting the file for some reason. So I don't want to risk that again. Anyway, I've had this beer many, many times before. Haven't had it once out of this bottle format since I did a review for it and lost the video. But haven't had it out of the actual bottle too many times. Probably about, I think, 2 times before this. So, anyway, let's get into it and I'll let you know what I think. Alright. Right, so pours a hazy, kind of a murky mango type color. It's got this mix of like kind of a yellow, gold, kind of, well, murky, I guess, version of those colors. A nice frothy white head, poured out pretty well. It does have a little bit of, I had this in the fridge, so it has just a bit of chill haze, but this normally is a bit of a hazy beer. And you can definitely tell. So, but looks really nice. So let's get into the aroma. So I need to let them warm up a bit. But this beer has a lot of those tropical fruit type aromas. You get mango, you get some pineapple. I don't know if I can say I get blueberries like they describe on the bottle, but I also get a bit of guava. There's that kind of a light bready malt underneath. Some citrus, there's a bit of grapefruit or orange, but it's really heavy on the mango and the almost kind of tropical like fruits. You think of those types of aromas or whatever, pineapple, guava, mango, And then just from the Mosaic hops, pretty notable for being giving off that a strong kind of dank, vegetal, earthy aroma. It does have a bit of that as well. So anyway, let's get into the taste. Cheers. Really, really good. So initially you get a sweet, kind of a mango, sweet tangerine, a bit of pineapple, a bit of guava, and this kind of nice bready underlying malt character to it that comes in. A bit of that kind of vegetal dank-like quality from the hops, and then it mellows out. It's very well balanced. It starts off pretty sweet, and then it finishes, a bit more bitter. And it's not an intense bitterness, but just enough to balance out the sweet malt character to it. Yeah, this lots of that tropical fruit, and it really makes the beer more unique out of all the IPAs coming out of Texas. It reminds me more of some of the beers that are in New England. Not quite similar. I mean, it's similar to things like Treehouse or Trillium, but it's not quite the same. I would pick more of some of the Vermont IPAs. It reminds me more of a few Hill Farmstead beers I've had. There's a couple other breweries up there that have that that bright tropical flavor going for it, but it also has a nice strong bitterness and some of those other more typical characteristics you get out of more West Coast style IPAs, that kind of dank vegetal, bright, big citrus grapefruit like quality. So it's this nice marriage of that, the tropical, kind of juice bomb like flavors with those typical West Coast flavors. But it's a really, really well done beer. Definitely like one of the closest ones that we get to some of those New England styles, and it's you can see why it's as rated as high as it is. But this just came out. They released it this week in the 4-packs. We've got a bunch at our store. Probably should be able to. And it goes, I wouldn't say incredibly fast. I mean, it does sell pretty well. When they send out a new shipment, it doesn't only last a few days at most. So if you see it, I would definitely recommend picking it up here in the Houston area. I don't know how far they distribute out of Houston, or the area. The Lone Pint's out of Magnolia, but if you see it anywhere, I would pick it up. Forgot, I kind of skipped over the mouthfeel a bit, but it's I'd say it's got a nice creaminess. It's not super high carb, so it has more of that full body kind of creaminess to it. It's a bit lighter. I'd say probably more of a lighter medium, but just that low carb kind of gives it more of that full body aspect. It feels very full for that, and bitterness is spot on. It's not super bitter, just enough to kind of balance out the malt sweetness. Makes it really, really drinkable. But I think that's pretty much it for Yellow Rose. So I would highly recommend this, if you're in IPAs, just because it's so unique for the area. And it's really nice to see them, seeing a brewery at least put out something like this here. And I love it. And now that it's in these 4-packs, I'll buy it as often as I see it. So, but with all that said, that's pretty much what I think about Yellow Rose. So check it out, see if you can find it, and hope you enjoy it. But think global, drink local, and cheers.